You know, in millions of doctors' offices right now, a revolution is happening. It's totally invisible, but it can hear every single word you say. We're talking about the AI Scribe, a technology with, well, incredible promise, but also some serious peril. So let's dive in.
I mean, that's a pretty startling question, isn't it? But it's one we all really need to start asking. Because more and more, there's a third party in your exam room, quietly listening to everything, an artificial intelligence. So the real question is, what does this actually mean for the future of your healthcare?
So why is this tech taking off so fast? Well, to really get the solution, you've got to understand the problem first. And for doctors and nurses, it's a waking nightmare, the absolutely crushing, relentless burden of medical documentation.
Just think about it for a second. For every single patient they see, clinicians are getting buried under this mountain of notes and data entry. And this isn't just, some minor annoyance. It's a full-blown crisis. It's one of the biggest causes of burnout, and it steals precious time and focus away from what really matters, taking care of patients. So into this crisis steps a potential hero, the AI Scribe. The promise is pretty simple, actually. Automate all that busy work, fight burnout, and give doctors and nurses their time back. But how exactly does it pull this off? The whole concept is deceptively simple, but it's incredibly powerful. Just picture a small device in the room, or maybe an app on the doctor's phone, that just listens. It ambiently captures the whole conversation, your symptoms, the doctor's questions, the treatment plan, all of it. And boom, it translates everything into a perfect, structured medical note. No typing, no clicking, just a natural conversation.
And listen, don't make the mistake of thinking this is some far-off futuristic tech. Nope. This is happening right now, and the adoption rate has been explosive. Almost a third of all physician practices are already using these tools. We're talking about huge health systems rolling this out to thousands of doctors at once. This quiet revolution is already well underway.
And you know what? The results are real. One key study found that AI scribes clawed back a median of 2.6 minutes of documentation time for every single appointment. Now, I know, 2.6 minutes might not sound like a lot, but imagine you're a family doctor seeing, say, 25 patients a day. All of a sudden, that's over an hour of your day you've gotten back from paperwork. That's a total game changer.
And this isn't just for doctors either. Another study looked at allied health professionals, your physical therapists, occupational therapists, people like that. And they found an even more staggering result. They cut their documentation time by a third. That is a massive leap in efficiency, letting them focus way more on actual therapy and rehab.
So this right here, this is the ultimate promise. The goal is to completely flip the script on how a clinician spends their day. Imagine taking that huge chunk of time that was spent on paperwork and just converting it directly into time for patient care. More listening, more examination, more of that human connection. That's the powerful win-win that's driving this whole thing forward.
But you know how it goes. Every story about a miracle cure has a list of side effects. And this is where our story takes a pretty sharp turn. The reality is, this technology has been rolled out so fast that we haven't really had time to fully grasp the risks. What happens when the AI mishears something, or misunderstands, or even worse, what if it just makes stuff up? To really get the risk, you have to compare an AI scribe to a human one. A human might make a typo, right? Spell a drug name wrong. But an AI makes completely different kinds of mistakes. It can't see a patient wince in pain or notice they're fidgeting anxiously. All these critical nonverbal cues are just invisible to it. And its errors aren't just typos. They can be complete fabrications, which is a whole new and frankly dangerous problem.
Okay, so researchers have basically pinpointed 4 critical ways these AIs can fail. First, you have fabrications, sometimes called hallucinations, where the AI literally just invents things, like a physical exam that never actually happened. Then there are omissions, where it might just delete a critical symptom a patient mentioned. It can also misinterpret context, and maybe the most confusing, it can make speaker attribution errors. Just imagine your complaint about a side effect getting written down as if it were the doctor's observation. And make no mistake, these are not just theoretical risks. This example, no vascular flow instead of normal, it comes from an older technology, and it led to real patient harm. The danger now is that these new, much more powerful AIs could make similar or even worse errors on a massive scale. As you can see right here, a single wrong word can have absolutely catastrophic consequences. What makes all of this worse is that we often don't even know why the AI makes a mistake. And that leads us to what's called the black box problem. Think of a black box AI like a magic box. The doctor's conversation goes in one side, and a perfect-looking medical note comes out the other. The problem is, you have no earthly idea what is happening inside that box. It is a complete mystery. And because its logic isn't based on actual medical training, its mistakes can be completely random and almost impossible to predict, let alone explain. And one of the biggest dangers with any black box system is that hidden biases can be baked right into its code, and that can lead to seriously unequal care. The data on this is, well, it's stark and it's deeply troubling. Research has shown again and again that the speech recognition tech that powers these scribes is significantly less accurate for African American speakers compared to white speakers. Just let that sink in for a second. Your medical record could be less accurate and your care could potentially be compromised simply because of your voice or your dialect. So this all raises a huge question. When an AI error causes harm, who's responsible? Is it the doctor, the hospital, the tech company that made it? Right now, there is a massive regulatory gap. Most of these AI scribes are just classified as administrative tools, not medical devices, which means they get to bypass FDA oversight entirely. Okay, so the situation is clearly complex. The promise is huge, but the perils are very, very real. The way forward isn't to just stop progress, but to build some serious guardrails. So how do we build these guardrails? Well, experts have a pretty clear plan. It all starts with prevention, rigorously testing these tools before they ever reach patients and demanding transparency from the tech companies. Then it's about accountability, creating clear regulations for when things go wrong and having strong protocols inside hospitals. And finally, we've got to look ahead, funding independent research to really understand the long-term impacts on our healthcare system. Look, getting this right isn't the job of any one group. It's a shared responsibility. It's going to require action from federal regulators, from hospitals, from tech vendors, all the way down to the individual doctors and nurses using these tools. And, crucially, it includes patients. We have to be informed and empowered to be part of this conversation.
So let's be absolutely clear here. The takeaway is not AI is bad. Not at all. This is a powerful, really valuable innovation. The real goal is to be smart about it, to find that critical balance between embracing progress and upholding the single most important, totally non-negotiable priority in all of medicine, patient safety.
So we'll leave you with this thought. The AI is already in the exam room. The debate over if we should use it is basically over. The only question that matters now is how we use it responsibly. Are we asking the right questions to make sure this incredibly powerful tool ends up serving patients and not just the system?